The Triangle's Morning News with Scott Brigham.
Well, on Wednesday, opening briefs were submitted to the U.S. Supreme Court from parties urging the justices to reject Texas versus the U.S., the GOP lawsuit aimed at dismantling the Affordable Care Act. Attorney General Josh Stein was part of that virtual conference call, along with NCDP Chairman and former Insurance Commissioner Wayne Goodwin, and the Attorney General is with us now. Josh, good morning. Thanks for spending some time with us. Why the need for that conference call yesterday?
Well, we filed a brief yesterday in the United States Supreme Court to protect the health care for millions of North Carolinians. The Affordable Care Act, it's become this political ball that just gets punched back and forth, but it has real consequence to people's lives. There are 4 million North Carolinians who have a pre-existing condition. The law prevents them from being discriminated against by insurance companies. There are 1.8 million seniors whose prescription drug prices are lower because of the ACA. There's over 500,000 people who get their health insurance through the exchange, and there's about 400,000 people who are able to afford health insurance because of the tax subsidies in the law. If we did not have the ACA, and this is, to be clear, that's exactly what the lawsuit is trying to do, is to eliminate the entire Affordable Care Act. It will absolutely devastate our healthcare system. Hospitals will lose nearly $30 billion over the next 10 years, doctors nearly $9 billion over the next 10 years, and there'll be $35 billion in uncompensated care, which means anyone who gets their health insurance through their employer, their insurance rates are going to go up. So this is about not only ensuring access to people who can't otherwise get health insurance, it's about protecting the healthcare system as a whole.
Yeah, and the timing of this during the pandemic, not a good optics, really.
No, because people, if ever it's clear that we need to have a strong healthcare system, it's when there's a global pandemic.
Amid this pandemic, of course, earlier when the declaration of emergency declaration is put into place, the gouging law goes into effect, and you had to take law into your hands with a Charlotte towing company.
Yeah, we got some complaints from some truckers. These are truckers who are trying to deliver medical supplies, water, food, cleaning products, the critical things that we need to be healthy and safe. Their trucks were getting booted in the middle of the night when they had permission to be parking where they were parking. And the towing company, A1 Towing Solutions in Charlotte, they were charging them $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. They charged one trucker $4,400 just to get his rig back so he could get back on the road delivering critically needed supplies. It's truly unconscionable behavior, which is why I went to court, and I'm very pleased that the judge ordered a temporary restraining order, essentially stopping their business practices at this stage of the litigation.
And one final thing I wanted to put in the spotlight. Earlier this week, you and 24 attorneys general urging the U.S. Senate to reauthorize the Violence Against Women Act, which expired more than a year ago. And we all know that the reports of domestic violence amid this pandemic are increasing. So I just wanted you to have a chance to explain your actions with that.
Thanks, Scott. Yes, most crime is actually down during the pandemic because everyone's at home. But one crime that occurs at home is domestic violence. And sadly, we have seen an uptick in those instances. And so we want to make sure anybody who's listening who is fearful for their safety at home, that there are toll-free numbers they can call to get help today. The courts remain open for them today. Yeah. But it's imperative that the U.S. Senate reauthorize the Violence Against Women Act so that we can demonstrate to these folks that we are there for them and we care for them and want to help them.
And real quick, while I have a little bit of time here, the GOP-led Michigan legislature suing the Democratic Governor Gretchen Whitmer over her stay-at-home orders. Is that ever a likelihood happening here?
I hope not. I mean, the governor has an immensely challenging decision. He has to balance our health needs against the economy. And frankly, if he goes too much in terms of opening up the economy, it runs the risk of actually long-term hurting the economy because we'll get another surge in cases and have to shut things down longer, which is not in anyone's interest. So my hope is, and I've been pleased, it was a bipartisan bill that passed out of the General Assembly last week. Yeah. That was a good step. So I really hope we avoid the partisan games that have happened in some other states.
He is Attorney General Josh Stein joining us on the Triangle's Morning News. Josh, keep up the good fight. Always a pleasure to talk with you. Stay safe and look forward to speaking with you again.
Appreciate your time, Scott.
All right.
Appreciate your time, Scott.
All right.
Appreciate your time, Scott.
All right.
Appreciate your time, Scott.